Morning, Amy. Say good morning. Yeah, number 2's old show cow. She's actually got, if you can see, I think it's the third one down over there. Nice dark one, middle of the screen. That's her daughter. Probably the biggest one over there. She's been a good cow. 224. 224 had twins last year before. And guess what? When we preg checked, my mother still thinks that the vet was joking, but he was not. He was, 99% sure she got twins again. 324A. I just checked with her daughter when I fed over there. Her daughter is one of those up there next to Amy's daughter. One of the bigger ones. Nice looking one. And she's a sweetheart. Amy can be a bitch because she was a show cow. 023. 023 had twins a few years ago. Year before last, when we still had the neighbor's property, she had a nice heifer calf who I think we kept. I don't know if she's still here now, but I think we kept her. Down at the other end of that property where the ditch goes through. The culvert half washed out and her calf stepped into it and got caught and wore a hole through, tendon showing. In fact, tendon was half wore off from being stuck. Luckily, one of the neighbors down the road walking their dog saw her, and they went back home and called and said, "Hey, I think you got a calf with a problem." Glad they did. We're just going to make them all mad. And that crazy looking one right there, that would be Leapin' Lena. Morning, Lena. Yeah. She was one of number 1's first show cows. As a calf on a halter, when she went to come towards you, she would leap. And over to the other end of the barn where the lockups are, in that pen, she would leap until she hit the rafters. So there's a lot of them with stories in here. And 132, that big girl there, there's her and 232, and I don't know if they're related. I mean, they probably got the same daddy. Obviously a year apart by their numbers. Her and 232 are 2 peas in a pod, but I think we might have shipped 232. Don't quote me on that. Now, some of these numbers stick with you. 521C is the one with her head in the middle right there, just turned away. Her first calf was a hell of a nice looking bull calf. You got certain ones that you remember. Hello, 23 came over here now. The big girl with the 2 patches on her eyes there, that would be Baby Boomer. We bought her mother, and I don't remember if she was the calf beside her or the calf in her. Might have been the calf in her. I think she was the calf in her. Her mother was an old show cow, and the kids that showed her, they were grandkids of the people that had her and grown and out, and Grandma and Grandpa passed away, and all that was left was 2 cows and 2 calves, and we bought them. Both older cows. Her mama was one of the most gentle cows you'd ever meet. She was 12 years old, I think. Never buy an old cow like that, but we did. Helping the family out, helping the kids out because they knew they weren't going to slaughter right away anyway. She was as bigger than any bull you want to find. And she was so gentle. She had huge hooves, and every now and then she'd have a problem with the front. And I could literally go in there and say, "You want me to help you?" And she'd kind of give me that look like, "Please." We usually put her over in the head gate. Over here in the lockups and the head gate between the 2 pens there. And I could lift her foot up and she would stand there like a horse. I just put my shoulder into hers just in case. 2-fold to that one. If she does come down, maybe I go under, but if she does come down, maybe it pushes me away. Oh, and there's Minnie Moo. Her mommy was number 1's first show cow. One we got rid of just about not quite a year ago. Give us a couple more months. She's been a good cow. She looks like a dairy cow. Her mother did too. that they put calves on the ground. Anyway, that big old cow, I could have her hoof up in the air for 20 minutes at a time, digging on it to find out what was wrong with it. And, you know, she'd twitch it a little if I hit a tender spot, but that was it. She was just so gentle, it wasn't even funny. Huge freaking cow. She weighed, the hell was it, 2,700 pounds when we got her? Yes, she was fat. Oh, well, maybe I've teased these girls long enough, because I know they all made it over here. Lots of them. Hey, let's see. Yeah, there's 232 right there. I already told you about 132. 232 is still here. And the yellow tag right behind her, that would be Dancer. Dancer is Lena's daughter. Dancer was a show cow for honorary daughter number 3. Got to show her. So she's one of the ones in better shape that way. They're all kind of getting skinny. Oh, and hey, we got those tubs yesterday. Mom got a call from the guy last night. He says, you didn't put those tubs out yet, did you? This isn't a bad thing. It's a bad thing for them, but not necessarily a bad thing for us. They're apparently the same tubs that we use, except they have fly control in it. Well, God, why didn't they tell us before they put fly control in it? Well, 4 of them are already out, and I'm sure these girls had gone long enough without that they're probably about a third gone by now. I haven't been out there to look yet. They were special ordered for another customer. And last night he was walking through the warehouse and kind of looking for them, because I'm assuming maybe that customer is supposed to come pick them up. Well, I have 4 tubs that they can have back. They'll switch us out, but I don't think they want the other. I mean, if it's up to them, we can take them out of the feeder back there, but it could be an interesting one today. Okay, now you looked at all the cows' heads. See if the light works. Hey, look! Yeah, 936 is still sitting right there. Still got the door open. Getting dustier and dustier and dustier. Kind of makes me glad we didn't get the top of the cab apart and cleaned up yet. Otherwise, it'd really still be a mess, and we would have already had new parts in it, and it would be a mess with all new parts. And I rambled too long, so hopefully those of you that the extra wind that we had when it hit it didn't do much damage. I've heard a few things here and there. Some guys got a lot of damage. Some guys said, yeah, it blew. So, all right, everybody. I'll get something else later. Way too long a video, though. Cab under frames all ready to bolt together and see what we're going to do to modify it. Ron got this cleaned up good enough. Number 2's headed to town to get some parts and some brake clean so we can clean stuff up to paint and finish cleaning stuff up. Becky's kind of gone through and she's gotten part of this mess cleaned up and kind of sorted. But we're into the point where we need a bunch of those bolts, and they were ugly. So since we had a couple of cans of brake clean that would not squirt no more, they had just enough in them to get these cleaned up, and they really look good now compared to what they did. And Ron's doing such a good job there. So I just thought I'd show you that quick. I don't know how far we're going to get. We're going to get that together, though, and at least get it painted and then figure out how we're going to put it up there. Maybe I can use my magical powers and it'll just gravitate. Yeah, right. Oh, well, maybe more. If not, hey, hope you had a good day. He decided that if number 2 is going to work on a John Deere, if she does it in the shed, we needed some light over there to actually work. These are cheap. I don't remember what it was. There's 4 in that little box. Took this one out to see if it works. On the top, they got 2 little strips. I don't know what they're just supposed to keep from shining the ceiling or what, but it's actually putting out pretty good light. I think 4 of those in a small area will really work nicely. We were talking about making a frame just to hang them on so you could work on stuff. They'd even work in here, but yeah, see, look, you can even see the shadow of him. But you can see Whiskey really good. Ron's getting tired to hold that. I know he is. So, well, I know it's actually lighting up pretty good. It's dark outside. But, yeah, see, look, you can see Whiskey really good. But you can see Whiskey really good. Ron's getting tired to hold that. I know he is. So, well, I know you can, it's actually lighting up pretty good. It's dark outside. It's lighting up all right in here till I do that, and it's still making a really bright spot on the floor. So, yeah, don't even ask me what brand they are because I can't tell you. All I can tell you is I just beat something overhead with it. 4-foot linkable. There's a plug-in at the end so you can put them in line. And I got to figure where to put it. I'll just hand it back to Ron. That's easier. Okay, so just thought I'd show you that. Kind of cool. We'll assume the rest of them work. We'll find out. Thanks for watching. And Rainey says, please like and subscribe. She's being silly. There's an empty pop can in there. She thinks there's something else. Who knows?